As we all know, the United States is a developed country, and its currency, technology, and financial markets are not only tools for people's survival, but also the yearning for most people. In recent years, many Chinese companies have embarked on a global market journey and entered the US market one after another. TSMC is a typical example, but due to the rapid development of Chinese companies, some key technologies in China have slowly surpassed the United States. To this end, the United States has also begun to impose sanctions on Chinese companies, such as Huawei and TSMC. In November last year, the United States asked TSMC to hand over key chip cost data. Because TSMC has a plan to build a factory in the United States, TSMC was forced to hand over relevant data, which also left a revelation to Chinese companies, that is, to develop independent key technologies and get rid of foreign technology dependence as soon as possible. So, what if Chinese companies do not choose to develop in the United States? For example, CATL, a well-known Chinese battery manufacturer, like many other companies, plans to build factories overseas in order to better participate in globalization. According to the latest news I learned, CATL's first overseas factory in Germany has obtained the battery cell production license. In this regard, what is the significance of CATL's establishment of a factory in Germany? Or don't need to hand over core technology to the United States? CATL to build overseas factories. New energy vehicles have become a major trend, in which the demand for the battery manufacturing industry is increasing. China's CATL has seized the industry trend and has become the world's largest battery manufacturer. In multiple data lists, both domestic and global, CATL's battery transfer capacity ranks first, contributing the most power. Thanks to the mastery of various leading battery technologies, CATL has added many industry competitive advantages. CATL has occupied half of the battery power market in China, and in the global market, there are still great prospects, so CATL opened the way to the sea and built its first overseas factory in Germany. According to CATL, the first overseas factory in Thuringia, Germany, has obtained a battery cell production license, and the equipment is in the installation stage. This is undoubtedly good news. It is very beneficial for Chinese enterprises to usher in a breakthrough in the construction of factories overseas, which is of great benefit to winning the favor of overseas markets, and also builds a larger global stage for Chinese battery technology. CATL expects to achieve mass production of the first batch of cells by the end of this year. The current plan is 8 GWh, and the total investment is 1.8 billion euros. However, it does not rule out the possibility of increasing production capacity and expanding the scale of investment in the future. However, it remains to be seen how it will perform in the future. The focus is on the implementation of CATL's overseas factories. What is the significance for CATL? What is the significance of CATL building a factory in Germany and not choosing the United States? CATL to build a factory in Germany seems to be just a simple plan to go to sea. But have you ever thought that there are so many global markets? Why is it Germany and why not the United States? What kind of far-reaching significance does it have behind the establishment of a factory in Germany? First of all, Germany is a big country in the automobile industry. Under the background of the transformation of German car companies to new energy sources, CATL will usher in more market opportunities. German cars are world famous, and many well-known car companies and brands are from Germany, such as Volkswagen, BBA, and so on. And these car companies are also moving towards new energy sources to build future-oriented smart cars. But no matter how smart it is, as long as it is a new energy source, it must use a battery. CATL has the world's first title and honor, which itself is a stepping stone. In the context of the transformation of German car companies into new energy sources, more cooperation orders will be handed over to CATL to usher in more market opportunities for it. This may be why CATL chose to build a factory in Germany. Secondly, from the perspective of globalization of Chinese battery technology, it can accelerate the market share of domestic battery technology. There are so many German car companies, if they all adopt CATL's battery technology, it will not only increase the global strength of CATL, a Chinese company, but also have great benefits for the globalization of China's battery technology. Chinese enterprises represented by CATL will be recognized by countries all over the world. For example, BYD, China Innovation Airlines, and other Chinese enterprises have a market share. Chinese enterprises with a large number of vehicles are expected to accelerate the market share of domestic battery technology and improve domestic battery technology influence in the global market. Therefore, it is of far-reaching significance for CATL to build a factory in Germany, which is beneficial to CATL's own global layout and to improving the influence of domestic battery technology. However, with the completion of CATL's factory in Germany, there is also a topic that has been discussed, that is, CATL may not have to hand over its core technology to the United States. Besides building factories overseas, does CATL have other overseas plans? Before it was confirmed that the German factory had obtained the battery cell production license, CATL was also rumored to be building a factory in the United States, investing 31.8 billion yuan to build a battery factory in North America. CATL responded with no comment. This ambiguous response has caused more speculation. It seems that CATL may not only start building factories in one place with regard to overseas layout. In addition to Germany, there is the United States, but there are different opinions about the establishment of factories in the United States. Because of LG New Energy and SK On, the two Korean battery manufacturers also plan to build factories in the United States, but were asked to share technical information by the other party, which obviously required Korean companies to hand over their core technologies. Many people are also speculating whether CATL will be required to hand over its technology when it builds a factory in the United States. But now that CATL has arrived in Germany, many overseas market layouts can be launched from here, so there is no need to build factories in the United States. If there is no need to build a factory, naturally there is no need to hand over core technologies to the United States. Of course, most of the above opinions remain subjective judgments. After all, how to expand the overseas market layout depends on the company's own wishes. I think that a company as big as CATL will have a detailed evaluation in every place it builds, and the information it has must be more comprehensive than the outside world. So no matter what the plan is, it depends on the official attitude of CATL. In short, in view of the precedent that TSMC was forced to hand over data by the United States, CATL chose Germany to build a factory instead of the United States based on this consideration, and the Chinese battery giant CATL wisely avoided the same mistake from happening again. With the gradual implementation of the overseas factory of CATL, a Chinese company, I expect that CATL will rely on this German factory to increase its core voice in the battery market in the future, driven by the good development of electric vehicles. Once a company has a market advantage, whether or not certain countries want sanctions, the company has the ability to deal with it.